Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, and King Dio. Over the last week, a couple of major manga volumes dropped. A couple of ones that I was really looking forward to. Those being Chainsaw Man Volume 7 and Spy X Family Volume 6. And of course, being a huge fan of Chainsaw Man, I immediately read Spy X Family. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Spy X Family. I got into this, on a whim. I saw it on the store, and I was just like, yeah, this looks kind of interesting. I'll try it out. And unlike most of the manga, I just kind of pick up on whims. I've read, all sorts of weird stuff, a lot of stuff I didn't really like. I found myself immediately drawn in to what the author wanted me to experience. That this spy, the super spy with no emotions, supposedly, starting a family so he can infiltrate this school, so he can deal with this corrupt sort of upper class sort of guy who is trying to overthrow the current establishment, right? So it's like spies, sort of a spy sort of situation, a spy comedy, in a way, I suppose. It's goofy as shit, but for some reason, I kept reading it, and I became completely enthralled. I really like what they did with this. I think I made a review of this already. I can't remember exactly what I said with it, but I generally really enjoyed this. And upon reading Volume 6, I think it's safe to say that, yeah, I am a huge fan of Spy X Family. I thought it was gonna peter out after the first couple of volumes, but upon reading Volume 6, I legit think that it's getting better and better and better. I had no real problems with Volume 6. I think it really sold me on the idea of the character growth, their progressions, their growing relationships, growing conflicts, and the comedy. I just found myself super into basically all of it. I no real complaints at all, other than maybe that Best Girl Yor did not do anything. I can't begin to tell you just how much of a fan I am of Yor, how she's my favorite character, and how I think she, from the very beginning, I felt like she had the most potential out of the entire cast. But here we are, 6 volumes in, and she's kind of almost defined by the relationship with her husband Lloyd, or Twilight. It's kind of so disappointing. She had one great moment this volume. One great moment where she fucks up Nightfall, the super spy who's yearning for Twilight's love. So the deal with this volume, or at least the first half of it, is that in the end of Volume 5, the character of Nightfall was introduced. Nightfall is a completely emotionless robot super spy, right? She is completely dedicated to her work and has no emotions. She's incredibly efficient. She's incredibly good at what she does. She has no emotion, but secretly she yearns for Twilight. It is hilarious. This chick, completely stony-faced, cannot stop thinking about how she wants to be Twilight's bride. That's her entire thing. Is that she's some hardcore super spy, completely serious about her work, but she's completely in love with this guy who has no idea about how she feels at all. and so they go through a mission. They go to some underground tennis club thing where people are roiding out. They're cheating all the time. They kind of have to pretty under these weird conditions, and they end up pulling the entire thing off. It is fantastic. It's a lot of fun, and pretty good payoff too, with Yor coming in at the end. Yeah, they spend this entire arc. I think it can be considered an arc. This entire part of the story just building up how good Natalia, Nightfall. Yeah, Natalia is her fake name. Excuse me. I don't think they gave her a real name yet. Twilight still doesn't have a real name. So yeah, Nightfall. They spent this entire build-up, building up Nightfall as a character, building up her super spy nature, building up how good she was at tennis, in spite of never playing before, building up all this stuff, right? All this stuff about her, how capable and competent she is, and she immediately gets blown the fuck out so hard by Yor. She runs away crying. Like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, legit a great way to end it. Like, legit a great way to end that part of the story. And found it really enjoyable. Loved that part. Like, being a big tennis fan, like former tennis player myself, I did appreciate that part of the story. I haven't seen tennis really represented all that much in anything manga related at all before, other than like watching The Prince of Tennis a long time ago. But I really enjoyed what they did with this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was unique. I thought it was funny. I thought there was a lot going on. The second half of the volume, I think is the second half. It goes into a bit more of like Anya and what she's going through, in which she's trying to get the attention of like Damien, the target son, and like her friend Becky thinks she's like completely in love with him and denying it, and they go hang out together, and they kind of have this sort of like bonding moment. And there was like one iffy moment where like they kept trying on costumes, and like they seemed a little bit too over-sexualized for such childish characters. I did not like that at all. Let me say that. I had big problems with that. But like overall, it was like a very, very, very charming, very sweet experience where that really made me realize just how well handled the character of Becky Blackwell actually was. Actually, I think they misspelled it in this volume. Like, it's Becky Blackwell in the other volumes, but it's Black Bell here. I'm not sure if they'll be able to catch that and fix it, but I'm looking out for you, Viz. I am beta rating for you. Because apparently you don't have people doing it for you. So yeah, they really I like Becky to a certain extent, like before this, right? She was just Anya's friend, but like this volume really, really emphasized just like, Becky's kind of an asshole. She's kind of a bitch, but like she legitimately does. In spite of that, like Anya, they legitimately get along and they're legitimately friends, right? Like more so than my whole like Damien thing, which is fake as fuck. Like they legitimately have become friends, and they legitimately do have like a heartwarming sort of friendship going on there. Great stuff, and the manga sort of concludes with with Damien, sort of building up Damien's character, and I think this is one of the reasons that the manga is like starting to really pick up, is that like it's beginning to balance the goofier aspects with like the serious drama stuff. Because Damien as a character is kind of taken completely seriously. Like he has like his goofy sort of like rivalry / romance / I don't know, infiltration mission with Anya. But he also has like legit like family problems that they're kind of building up to. Like his dad doesn't seem to care about him at all, even though like Damien desperately like wants his affection and love and stuff like that. I've been there, right? Like I relate to that a lot, and just seeing this kid who is kind of a brat, who kind of has his personal problems, right? Like his own who's kind of like shown to be kind of antagonistic to Anya, in spite of like clearly developing a crush on her. Like seeing him like struggle to form a connection with his dad is just like legit heartbreaking, legit really interesting. And unfortunately, like they kind of shit on that concept, kind of, with like Lloyd coming in and just kind of like having a conversation with him, like, hey, I legit wanted to see what Damien and his dad would talk about when they were alone, and instead like Lloyd has to go and introduce I don't know, it's just I don't know, like, Spy X Family has this tendency to, like, maybe think that something's going to happen one way, and then it shits all over it, and the thing they do isn't typically as interesting. That's been a problem for a while now, but it's not that blatant. It is getting better. I would say this is probably the best volume yet, even if it doesn't have even if it doesn't have much of your... That's annoying. I'll have to go through my reviews again. I gave this one a 5 out of 5. I think the rest of them I gave 5 out of 4s. I am actively reviewing these volumes, so I am gonna have to go through them all and try to pick out my favorites. I really should be doing like regular update videos, like every vlog, every volume that comes out. Really, really giving my thoughts on like what happens. I wanted to do it with Beastars Volume 14, but I cucked out. I am going to have to do a Beastars rant about what's happened in like the past 5 volumes or whatever. Like, there's every time I read Beastars and I immediately go on stream and bitch for like 50 minutes about it, and then I immediately go and read the next volume. It's I'm legit gonna finish it. I've invested too much time and money into this manga not to finish it. I am just I don't know. It's ridiculous. It is embarrassing. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to drop Beastars. Unfortunate. But anyway, yeah, so that's Spy X Family. Highly recommended. 6 volumes available now. Pretty solid read. Very enjoyable. Not my favorite currently running thing. I think I do still prefer Dr. Stone. I'm going to have to get caught up on Dr. Stone shit. But I am really enjoying it. And it's not one that I'm seeing a lot of people talk about. So definitely check that one out if you can. And I will see you all next time.